Hey, what's up? This is Michael.
This is Ryan.
Welcome to another episode of All Day Unpacked. It's the off season. We're a little slow right now, so we're not churning out the episodes here. But figured it was time to come back, and there's been a decent amount of stuff going on, especially with the historicals right now.
There
Thought we
has.
thought we'd review that a little bit, and then kind of get into some thoughts. We got the upcoming season. We got some thoughts around that. What like what's gonna be on the horizon on that. So let's kind of start off with what's going on right now, and that is these historical drops. They're doing them by conference. They've done, I guess, half now because we started with the Easts, then we did the Norths, and now we're just about to break into the South. So the NFC South is first up. What do you think? Have you been buying any of these? You getting involved at all? I know they haven't got to your conference yet, so.
Yeah, so they haven't got the AFC South, so I'm interested to see where that goes, just for personal reasons. But kind of what I think so far is I like it. Here's the thing. Again, I'm going to be more on the collector side. I know some more of the old school players. You can see it right there. So again, I'm going for more. I feel like the rares are kind of like a sweet deal right now. So I'm just kind of a lot of people are just dumping the rares. I feel like I'm picking those up at a good rate. I'm not buying the packs. I just don't see the value in the packs. Unfortunately, I'm just calling it like it is. They're selling packs for $25. You get 2 rares. I'm picking up all these rares at $7 a piece. Yeah. And then I pick up all the uncommons. I've picked up a good portion of them at $1. And the commons are going to eventually make it to Flowty. So I'm just going to buy them there.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. I will say that for the NFC North, just being a Bears fan, I had to buy, I wanted because I wanted to make sure that I got a few of those moments. But I'll go a little bit and say, I like this and I love the old school players they're picking. But, and maybe I'm just being biased because of the Bears, but I felt like they could have, instead of doing Urlacher again, Tillman again, Singletary again, I feel like they left a lot of players on the table. I get that they're holding back Peyton for a special release, but as a Bears fan, I feel like, you got guys like a Wilbur Marshall or an Otis Wilson or even a Dewerson or someone from the secondary or, just any of those guys. Yeah. There's a number of guys I felt like they could have gone with instead of doing it. It was a little bit disappointing. I haven't seen it as much with other teams, but it feels like the Bears just got a little bit more of a repetitive treatment. Although I will say, love that they did a Dent legendary. Love that they did, a Marty Booker rare. So they're doing some new stuff. But and again, maybe they're just kind of slow rolling it out or something. But it was a little mildly disappointing as a Bears fan. But again, was it enough where I didn't buy them? No. I still bought them. So
I feel like they did a better job with the Falcons and the NFC South. I noticed they had Algie Crumpler, they had Ricky Jackson, they had some kind of obscure names. I'm like, where's the Wilbur Marshall for the Ricky Jackson? Those were the ones where I was kind of I just didn't understand why they didn't do that. And I felt like not only did the Bears kind of get shortchanged, I feel like a few of I feel like the whole North. They did Billy Sims, which I thought was really cool. I like that.
I like the Billy Sims. That was nice.
I feel like maybe I'm wrong in this, but I thought Kevin Williams already had a moment.
He did.
So I felt like that was another one where it's Kevin Williams is a good player, but not good enough to keep going back to the well. It's there's so many
so did Robert Brooks.
Alan Page.
Yeah.
Right. I just feel like the North, they just didn't do a great job on. I'm trying to think of the East. Does Mark Gastineau have a?
They did. No, they did all right. They I feel like some of the guys that you like, or for me, some of the guys that I like seeing, they're getting more of the uncommon common moments because maybe they're a little bit more obscure and they're just kind of putting the marquee names in the. But I have to say, the legend, for me, when I look I'm a fan of players, right? But when I look across all the legendaries, I'm just not seeing a lot of names where I'm like, oh man, there's a name that I really want. The only one that I've seen was in the NFC South, which was Deuce McAllister, who has not had a moment yet. So his debut moment, that will be the first of this whole series. That's the first legendary that's a debut moment. So that's a cool.
I was unaware of that.
So the entire first ones, all of the legendaries, none of them were rares. They were all repeat players.
There's a lot of retreads going on. I just again, and I'm gonna going to call this out. Why does Bruce Smith have 2 rares? I don't understand that. Like, again, it's like some of these guys, it's like they're great players, but it's like there's so many other players that they could be making moments of, and I just don't understand why they're not going that route.
I mean, it's Bruce Smith's a big enough name, I think, where it could, I mean, I can kind of understand. Oh, you know what? I take that back. There were a few other legendaries that were debut moments as well. Phil Simms was a debut.
Fran Tarkenton?
Yeah, Bernie Kosar was, Ed Jones. Okay. Oh, so there were more than I realized.
I was way off.
Don't listen to me. Don't listen to me. I was way off. It was, all right, so Kosar, Phil Simms, Too Tall Jones. I said it and I was like, I think I just made a mistake there. And I did. So Lynn Swan.
Swanson.
Slappy. Yeah. Oh, here it is. Samsonite. Richard Dent. Oh, so did they do that thing again where they released them and gave both the rare and the legendary the debut moment? Tarkington.
Did they?
Let's see. I'm curious now. Let me see.
I'm just going to say that I know I'm going to get to some of this stuff later, but I fucking hate that.
No, they didn't.
Good. I'm glad they didn't. That debut, with the rare and the legendary that they did for 2023 with the what are they called? What kind of moments?
The dynamic moments.
Dynamics. That is just infuriating.
Yeah.
Why would you want to go and buy the legendary when it's like you could get the rare and kind of essentially have the debut? It's just like you don't have 2 rookie cards. Just like
no, I know I thought a lot about that. How should they have done that? Clinton Portis, yes. Oh God, man. All right, let's just restart the episode. Just restart the whole episode. Anyway, yeah. So there were plenty of debuts. I stand corrected, including the Bears. But nonetheless, the names that I've been seeing come across on the legendaries. It's like I feel like they did a nice job, but it's like I don't know. Maybe I'm being greedy, but it's like when I think of the Dolphins, right? It's like who are you waiting for from the Dolphins? Dan Marino. He's not there yet, and I get it. They're saving him, right? So it's like same thing with the Lions. Who we all waiting for? Barry Sanders. He's not there yet. Yeah. So, who are you waiting for on the Bears? Walter Payton. He's not there yet. So, they're holding back some very big names in the historical piece, which I respect. I get they've got to keep their product living on, but it's like at the same time, what are you waiting? Sometimes you wonder with this product with, things falling through the ground or whatever. Yeah. How much longer do they got? It might be time to start pulling out the stops. So
yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. And here's what I'm going to lead into next is that I feel like they should be going back and doing banner moments for the old, the 1989 banner moments. Take the Super Bowl winner, just even that. I mean, they're going back and they're doing historical players. They should be doing historical games and runs of these teams, again, what would it be, the 89 49ers, do a banner moment of that. I mean, people seem to really like that. And I think it would for the people that do the work would probably be cool to chop together some stuff and put together a cool banner moment of, these old school teams and kind of you think about what a moment is and it's nobody remembers the 89 season, what happened week 2. It's that's kind of more of a historical keepsake in the sense that I could go to that moment and kind of watch it and look at it. It might be kind of cool in that sense.
Yeah, I mean, you could really put together some nice, they haven't done legendary banner moments, but if you were to do a clip from every week of the Super Bowl winning team, I think that would be worthy of a legendary moment. That would be a truly legendary moment. So I like your idea. Where I think they could have used that is when they do these historical classes where they do class of 99, class of 2004, whatever they were doing. Perfect. Do class of 99 and then do a banner year of the Super Bowl winner from 1999 and do so it do their anniversary editions or whatever. And you really could, put something nice together. So yeah, I like that idea. I like doing it kind of coinciding with these draft class, anniversary
Hall of
dates
Fame too.
Hall of Fame anniversary. Yeah. So no, I like that idea.
Right. And I feel again, that you want to bring more people into the fold. It's that, if you saw that moment, you'd be oh, that's actually kind of cool. Again, you can find most of these current plays. You can find all that stuff online, but it's some of the older stuff is maybe not pieced together as well. So again, if you're a true fan of the 49ers, you see something like that might attract some actual fans too. So putting more asses in the seats, I don't know. I think that's important.
Yeah.
So
how about have you been doing any of these like playbooks, these historical playbooks? Have you been locking in any of your vintage rares, or what are you doing there?
I have, and here's the thing I'll say is I got no problem locking moments. I like locking moments. I like the idea that I'm locking it up. I'm
Yeah.
great with that. It's like in a
Yeah.
way, it's almost like if somebody broke into my account, they couldn't sell it, right? It's like it's like it's secure. Like nobody's going to sell it. So
Yeah.
again, the idea that I'm picking up these moments, I like collecting them. I'm locking them. I'm good with it. I think it's a great idea to do the low counts that they're doing. I like the counts that they're doing,
Yeah.
and I like that they're locking them. But again, and I know that they're trying to make money and they have to sell X amount. But I really think that like you look at how many of these guys are still in packs. I say they burn the packs that didn't sell and just whoosh, be done with that.
Yeah, remember we talked about that with Series 2, and then it looked like they were going to do it, but then at the very end, they just flooded the market with Series 2 with those.
Old TJ Edwards will get you every time.
Yes, he did. So, I mean, I agree. They should, it's like, why not burn the excess supply? That feels like it's a better move. But all right, so the historical playbooks you like, what about the daily playbooks where it's like, pick your favorite player or submit this or that, or how are you feeling about that?
So here's what I'll say. Pick your favorite player is just totally terrible. Okay.
Yeah.
I look at that as a golden opportunity to appease the people who have been collecting for a long time. It strikes me as lazy on their part that they can't even just say, instead of pick your favorite player, just pick the $1 moment that you maybe have and feel like it's actually useful for 10 seconds. It's like when they do that, it's like I feel like they're slapping the collectors in the face. It's like you have a chance to just pick a base one common. Just, right. I mean, that's as stupid as pick your favorite player. Because when you pick your favorite player, are you going through and saying, well, I kind of like this guy? Are you doing that? No. Everybody picks the first guy. I'm sure the first guy has got 1 million, and then there's like 3 guys left that maybe get the other ones.
I will say this. I look through the first page, and then I pick whoever I like best on the first page. I don't pick the first guy. I will actually go through the first page. But I won't hit the load more.
I'm guilty of choosing the first guy so many times. And then there was actually a time where I thought, I wonder if like the moments that you get in your like packs is based on who you choose based on that team or something like that. But I'm like, no, they're not that crafty.
Yeah. No.
So again, they need that's one area where I'd say, I mean, come on, stop being lazy and just like pick something like a season 2, pick these moments that people own. Like, again, I'll say it for the millionth time, team moments. What a time to use them. Just make a guy like me happy. There's a bunch of us out there that collected these fucking things.
Yeah.
Make us happy. So
right. Like, how about just submit any old team moment? Like, submit a team moment. That's it. It could be a Falcons common moment that's $1.50 or whatever, right?
Exactly. Why not? I mean, if you do that, you might bump the price up or, get the supply
up.
Bump
the price up. Yeah.
Exactly. It's almost, it's idiotic at a point where I pick your favorite player. Fuck you. What do you think?
Well, no, I mean, I agree with you. It's like, if you're going to give like free points, the easiest way to give free points is just say, just submit a comment. Like, why not? Like, it is, if you don't have a common and you're trying to like participate, what's the point anyway? Like, if you're not, like, you should at least have a common. So
you can't shell out $1. Like, what are you doing here?
Not even $1, dude. Go to Flowty and get one for 35 cents.
Right.
So yeah,
I just want to know who do they have running this? Like, again, call me up. I can help you with this part.
It's the Discord guys, I think. I think it's like that Otis and Spencer. I think they decide some of the contest stuff.
Oh my god! I mean, they
got a lot. They got a lot to do. I'm sure they mail it in every once in a while. It's hard.
Here's the thing. I mean, just then listen to our podcast and just write it down.
Yeah,
because it's a lot easier that way.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
No offense. I mean, their plates are probably full, but they can do better than that.
No, I agree.
They seriously can. That's lazy.
I keep waiting for, and I know that you've talked about this, so I'm stealing your idea here, but I keep waiting for like Flowty or Own the Moment or Flowty, because Own the Moment's really just more of a window. But the idea of like, when you want to buy a bunch of commons, what a pain in the ass to have to like buy one common at a time.
Yeah.
And you're buying like 27-cent commons. It's like, it's like can we just get a shopping cart to just like load a bunch of moments into and check out? And
Yeah.
then like it would just run the transactions. And if one fails, great.
Yeah.
Throw it away and just do the rest of them. But like, don't like, it's like it's like so tedious to have to do moment after moment. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I have to guess that there's a reason that they can't do that, but
possibly.
I don't know what the reason is. But man, oh god,
but I mean,
what a
how,
pain in
like,
the ass.
again, like you would think like a guy like Digitally Rare, right? Who buys like thousands of dollars worth of moment. If he could go in and just buy like a fleet of one moment, the chances that somebody like that would come in and scoop up a huge amount of supply and they would get that many more sales. And then again, kind of like bumping it up. It's like, that's what we need. You've got all this excess and now it's dropping below. And that's why it's making it to Flowty and going for 35 cents. It's like they should make it where you can scoop up all these moments and have these big dog collectors come in and start gouging out some of these major holes that they, not holes, but like stockpiles of moments that are just sitting there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I couldn't agree more.
No, I agree. So speaking of like the marketplace, like what do you see in the market right now that you're like kind of buying? Like what's got your eye? Like what do you see that like looks like a really good value right now?
I mean, honestly, I've been buying up a lot of the rares, the historical rares. When they've dropped to like $7, I've been really all over those.
Yep.
Again, you know, I'm a common nerd. You know, like I like to. I'm a guy that likes to go on there and search by highest price common, and I like to watch the Brady, the Mahomes, the what's his name, Peyton Henderson or
Hendershot, yeah.
And like the Joe Burrows, the Jamar Chase, all those debuts that were commons. It's like those are like low dollar ones. Justin Jefferson. It's like I love nothing more than to watch those drop down a couple bucks. Like Joe Burrow when he was $8, I was just buying those left and right. And it's like Justin Jefferson when he got down to like $7. It's like buy those. It's like I like checking that and getting those kind of like debut bargain basement deals. Yeah, because again, like I feel like over time that some of these are going to get burned off, and like that Joe Burrow, the Tom Brady. I mean, like if this thing takes off, those are going to be worth something.
Yeah, and I mean, if it takes off, having debuts of superstars is never going to be a bad idea. Rookies and superstars, like that's where it's at. So, no, I think that's a great like. I mean, that's good advice. I definitely think that's like a like, debut moments are where it's at. It's nice to have the other ones, but if you've got a guy's debut, it's like you can't. Like even if it is a common, you can't be that. But yeah, no, I agree. It's like, but you're right. Like Josh Allen's another one that I know that you probably didn't mention, but you probably keep an eye on as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's like that. Yeah, Derrick Henry's got a common.
Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
Even our good friend Jordan Love, who's now worth something.
You know, it's funny. I didn't get a ton of him, but I did get a decent number. I got a small stack of him.
Yeah.
When he was on the bench, because I thought, like before Rodgers even got traded, I thought one day he's going to be gone. And knowing the Packers that they've hit on the last two quarterbacks, I mean, why not, right? So he was going for like, I remember him going for like $2, $1, $3, and now he's $8, which isn't like crazy, but he hasn't had a good season. That's going to go.
I mean, if you bought enough of him, it's good.
Yeah, well, I didn't buy enough of him. I bought some.
Right.
I'm sure some Packer fans are clearing.
Speaking of Packer fans, I was up late last night and I saw go to my account or whatever that username is, and dude was just loading the cart with debut Christian Watson at $2 a piece. It was just like one after the other, and I was watching that, and that's my segue into the new Own the Moment sales feed and burn feed. What are your opinions on those?
I mean, I like Own the Moment's doing a good job. I know that some people got upset when they locked it down and made it only available to people. Like now, it used to be like there were certain pieces that you could, anybody could hit, and then there were pieces that only Joker owners could hit.
Right.
And I know you and I we were early buyers of Jolly Jokers when they did like a nice sale one time, and we just decided to take the plunge. And I got to say, that was probably one of the best. Like I look at all my spends in this NFL all day ecosystem, and as much as I don't love the Joker artwork, and I'm sorry whoever designed it, Jolly Joker people, I don't like the artwork. But anyway, not the problem. The functionality of it is so good that it's like you could put a pile of shit on the front, and I would still be like, supporting that cause. So
got it.
Yeah, I really like everything that On the Moment's doing. I like the way that and now that they've incorporated Flowty into their feed, I
Yes.
really dig that. Like that was huge.
Can you give a quick rundown? So, like, if somebody doesn't know what Floaty is, can you give them like a 1 minute piece on what Floaty is?
Yeah, so Flowty is just like a third party marketplace where you can go in and buy moments. But the thing that they do different than All Day is it's a smaller commission that you pay as a seller, and as a buyer, you can buy fractional like so. The lowest moment you can buy on All Day is $1. A moment on All Day cannot sell for less than $1. But on Floaty, you can sell your moment for $1.25, or what we've seen sometimes, which is 25 cents. I mean, there are
Yep.
people who just want to unload their commons, and you'll just see a feed of 25-cent commons that will come across, and people are just buying and buying and buying. So,
Yep.
So the beauty of it is that it's like the place to go when you want to buy really cheap commons. That's what I've learned.
And you don't have to sign into Floaty. Essentially, you just take your wallet and you connect. So if you're signed into All Day and then you go and you say add wallet or connect wallet, then it will just automatically.
I mean, you're signing in via your wallet, which verifies who you are and such. Sure. So you're technically signing in, but yeah, you don't have to have an account. It's not, it's not as like cumbersome. It's just very easy to connect and just start buying. And you can use your Dapper wallet or, whatever else you want to use.
Right. Okay. So we're talking about moments that I like and I'm trying to pick up. What do you see in the market that you're trying to pick up and you like?
Same thing. I mean, I'm seeing like a lot of the debuts, rookies, like a couple of the guys. It's funny, like a couple of the guys that I had been targeting were used today in the Burn Challenge, which were Olave and Drake London, who I think are both guys that could have kind of jumpy. Like Olave is like he's just wasting away on a team because like you watch this guy play and he is so good. He's like so good, but the Saints just aren't any good, so they don't get like the national attention. And he's just like flying under the radar. But man, he is a good wide receiver. And so, and same thing with Drake London. Now that Kirk Cousins is down there,
right?
I feel like he's gonna really dude, Desmond Ridder was throwing him the ball last year, and like Desmond Ridder stinks. I'm sorry, sorry, Mr. and Mrs. Ridder, your son's a fine person, but he just doesn't throw the football. He throws a
much better college quarterback.
Yes, he definitely was. Kirk Cousins is like a light year jump for the Falcons at quarterback. So
got it.
I feel like Drake London's a big beneficiary. I think another sneaky guy right there, Kyle Pitts, man. He's like, people have like written him off, but I could really see like someone like him coming to life this year.
There's my sneak pick on that one, just to interject on that. Rondale Moore.
Oh, did the Falcons sign him?
Yeah. He's going for $1 debut.
And that's a Series 1 debut too.
Yeah, I noticed that Joe Burrow, he's kind of one of the guys that like just his debut, was kind of like an $8 or $9, $10 thing. Now it's more of like a $13 thing. So it's like, I'm kind of like seeing him make that jump, which is kind of crazy.
I mean, I think, he was hurt last year, so that probably kind of brought him down a bit. And now we're getting closer to the next season and people know he's going to be back. And he's kind of, what I'm saying? He's like kind of an under the radar guy right now. So
a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit. Speaking of under the radar, what do you think about these legendaries that are getting close to $100? Is that dam going to break?
I mean, it has to, right? Like, unless they fix it, they're adding legendaries just so many so fast that it's like, it's how do you, it doesn't make sense. It's the, just the sheer amount. It's like, they're just building up too many.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we were talking about the numbers earlier before, and they did what? It was 194 legendaries between historical and 2023, just in that run.
You crunched the numbers, so all credit due to you. But like, to me, like what's really like crazy is that in 2023 legendary moments, there were 194. So that was all the dynamics. 194,
yeah.
It was plus the playoffs and the Super Bowl. Now, but what's crazy is, so that was just in 2023. In the 2 seasons before that, and the 2 historical seasons before that. So Series 1, Series 2, Historical 1, Historical 2, combined, there were only 159 legendaries. Right. So they put out more legendaries in one season than they had in the past 2 combined.
Right.
Like that, you can't do. And on top of it, they are dropping another 60 so far in the off season for historicals, with more to come.
Right. They can't, like, again, like that's what scares me about the product. If you want to know what scares me, that's what scares me, because that looks like that reeks of a money grab.
Yeah, they're fucking up the numbers, because it's like, and again, this is your research, so I know I'm stealing your credit here, but like you pointed out, like there are more, like in 2023, there are more rares than there are uncommons or commons. So there were 338 rares,
Right.
unique rares in 2023, and there were 217 uncommons,
no,
or
217 commons
and 207 commons.
Uncommons. 217
okay.
217 commons and 207 uncommons in 2023. But
so how can there be more rares than there are commons and uncommons? You know what I mean? Like
I want to hope my numbers are off.
No, they're not. I double checked them. Like when you sent me that, I was like, no fucking way. And then I went on the moment. You're right, man. I mean, now the saving grace is that there's less of them. So if you were to multiply it out, there's probably still more common moments. But that defeats the purpose of, there shouldn't be more rare moments than there are uncommon. That doesn't make sense. So they're fucking, so I 100% agree with you. That is a money grab, because people know that rares and legendaries get more money. So they've just been like ditching the commons and uncommons, because I mean, and I get why, they all just go to $1 anyway. It doesn't matter. Like, it's like they've dropped down, like those uncommons have a upper limit of 2,000, which, if you think about, that's the same as rares from Series 1. Rares were like, there are some Series 1 rares from the Draw It Up, DK Metcalf and Kirk Cousins. They are rare moments that have like 2,300.
Yeah.
I know those are like a couple exceptions, but like there were a lot of 1,200s, and that's not far away. When you think about a set that's, got $19.99 going for $1, and then you've got an $11.99 that's going for like, somewhere in the $7 to $10 range, that's out of whack, because uncommons should be worth more than $1, but they're not, because there's so few people on this product that that it's like they can't get enough people. Like, that's what it boils down to. Like, at the end of the day, it's just like there's only about 1,500 people who actively use this product, which is a scary low number.
Yeah, that is a scary low number. And so, like, let's talk about. Hey, get out of there! Sorry, my dog's getting crazy with it. So let's talk about what can they do.
Okay.
In 2024, I've got, me, I'm full of ideas. Whether they're good or they're bad, I got ideas. But what can they do? What can they do?
Yeah.
To save this? So it's like, let's say they come to you, they're in the boardroom, and they're like, "All right, motherfuckers, you guys think you're so smart.
Yeah. Bring us in. Great." What I would say is, it's like, okay, first of all, it's got to be burn fucking city. Like we need to burn a ton of the supply. Like, I know that we're being aspirational and trying to get more than 1,500 users, but right now you just got to look at the fact that you got 1,500 users and deal with it, right? Like, just like, if you want more users, then go try to get more users or whatever. Like, figure out, like, come up with incentives to get people on the thing. That's another episode, but we'll focus on now. So
sure,
like, just get burning, and for the love of God, do not release 5+ legendaries for every fucking team next year. Like, it just don't do it. And don't do this rare and legendary of each player either, too, because that just muddies the waters. So
yes,
here's my proposition. Okay. You come up with you got about 1,500 users. Great. Come up with your like sets. So come up with a legendary set, come up with a rare set, come up with these sets, and then like do, like, for instance, take rares, right? Make a rare set. It's 500. There's 500 of each player, and do all the rookies as rares with a mint of 500. So that makes them where there's not enough for everybody to get them so that they go in the toilet, but there's enough to kind of go around, because you're going to, like, all these people, everybody wants like a Caleb Williams
Yep.
or they want a Drake May or whatever. So you mint all the rookies to 500 and do that. If you want to do dynamic moments, great. Do that with the rookies. Like give them every rookie, all these top rookies in the first and then some of the second round, make that your dynamic set. Perfect.
Yep.
And then pick one or maybe two stars off of each team and do a legendary for them if you want, established players or whatever. But limit down the numbers. Like just stop. Like you're killing it. It is destroying the value of the ecosystem. And I know that you were saying something about they have to hit a certain number for their licensing deal or whatever and such, but it's like, they gotta bring the numbers down.
Right. Or they need to be transparent about what that number is, or they gotta maybe they don't have to be transparent about that number, but it's like we don't know what they're shooting for. So it's like, are they just like, are we collecting something and they're just like, we got to hit this number, and it's like some number they're never going to hit, and we just know it's eventually going to peter out. So here's I like what you're saying. I agree. Actually, one of my ideas was that wrote down right here is that Caleb Williams should be a 500 count rare debut moment. I look at the Patrick Mahomes moment, the debut, and I kind of look at that as the gold standard right now, because that moment has a high price on it, but people can still get their hands on it. So it's not like I look at the CJ Stroud legendary and I'm just like, that's out of whack. There's only like 5 to 10 users that are really like looking at that, considering it. Everybody else is not. So it's just like, bring it down to the rare and then make that rare 500 and start putting these guys. So it's like people can actually get in there. Like, if Caleb Williams is like $400 or $500, like, okay, we can maybe take a swing at that. But it's like when it gets into these astronomical numbers, it's like, dude, if the guy breaks his knee or, busts his arm the next play or whatever like that, then it's going to tank. So it's just like, it's too much of a risk. Here is what I'm going to say. And this is a bold statement. I don't know if you'll like this, but
all right, I'm listening.
Ditch the premium pack. The premium pack, I feel like, is killing the product. And the reason it's killing the product is because it's the haves and the have-nots. And the have-nots never get a shot at being the haves. And again, it's like if you want to get new users in the fold, it's like if they got a pack and said, holy shit, I got a legendary. That would make them like, I remember when I got my first legendary, I got it way early and I thought, that's kind of cool. I like this. This is kind of fun. But the whole thing is what you're doing is these premium users are stacking legendaries and they're stacking them. And yeah, they're return users, but they're stacking them all. And then there's all these other people that they get a pack and they're like $1, $1. What am I doing here?
Yeah. Like I get where you're going. And so I'm going to take your idea and run with it a little bit. Like it's like the old school football pack idea.
That's exactly what it is.
Right. Everybody gets an equal pack, right? So let's say it's $5 a pack, and every pack has a 10% chance at a rare. I'm just throwing numbers out. I don't know what the math is, but like every pack has like a 10% chance at a rare and a 1% chance at a legendary. And that's just the way she goes, boys. And so it would be like, and so instead of doing like premium packs in this pack and that pack, you just dump a fuck ton of packs out to the public and you say, here, 10,000 packs, go get them. Like there's 500 Caleb Williams in there. There's 500 Marvin Harrison Jr.'s in there, whatever.
Yeah.
Like knock yourselves out. It's $5 a pack. Nothing's guaranteed. You buy them like you used to buy football cards when you were a kid. And so so again, you're a whale that's like a legendary stacker. Great. Yeah. Buy 1,000 packs. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like these guys, the small guys, they can't buy 1,000. They can buy, maybe they can buy like, 20 packs or whatever.
Right.
But it's like, they're not, and again, I said 10,000, but honestly, if you do like, a bunch of 3 or 4 card packs and you have that many moments in them, you're going to have probably like 25,000 packs. So it's not, just put them out there and let people start lining up and buying them, put a 5 pack per transaction limit. There's only 1,500 people. So if everybody wanted, every user could line up and get 5 packs.
Yep.
Great. Do that. Get your packs, figure it out. And then that's going to really blow up the secondary market. It's going to really blow up the trading market. It would, that way it's like, let's say I'm a Dolphins fan and I pull a rookie Caleb Williams and I'm like, fuck this guy, but I'm going to sell it to some Bears ding dong that's willing to pay, whatever, $300 for it. Great. Right. Now I can take those $300 and buy the Dolphins that I wanted type of thing. So
correct.
I like it. I like your idea because it goes back to old school football cards versus, like you said, it is the guaranteed legendary stuff or whatever. I don't know. I'm trying to think how that would go over with like the whale collectors, and I feel like probably fine because I feel like a lot of those guys are starting to get sick of those packs anyway. Like I feel like there's something
The
like
pack is dead.
it is right now, but they could bring it back by making it
Yeah.
fun. And the way you make
Yes.
it fun is that like when you buy a pack like right now and there's like it's when there's a chance at a legendary, those packs sell so much better than the packs that don't have a chance. Like go look
Correct.
at the marketplace. It's like if you just make all the packs equal, I feel like that would really
Yes.
like people would really like that idea.
Yes. And I feel like, again, like people enjoy, like it's kind of like that gambling rush of opening a pack.
Yeah.
So therefore you get like 50 packs and you're sitting there, open them. And that's fun. You can do that. You like that.
Yeah. I mean, we would start doing pack battles again because we used to do pack battles because it was fun to open packs and then it got to be not so fun.
Right.
And we stopped doing them.
Because again, it's like, what's fun about paying $599 to buy one pack, open it, and then say, these are the 8 guys I got. That's just not like when you were a kid, you'd go and you'd buy like 20 packs of cards and you'd sit there and open them. You don't get the gum with them, but I mean, hey, fuck, you just get to open them and go through them. So it's like, that's one big thing that I think that they need to make a change on ASAP to bring packs, like make those fun because they're not selling out anymore. People have caught on, and that's the reason they're not. Make them affordable. So here's my second pitch. Okay.
All right.
A burn contest to get a good cereal for some of the new rookie moments. Okay. Now, not all of them. So, like, my example is going to be Brock Bowers. Okay. So, let's say the Brock Bowers is a common moment. So, I'm just going to read what I've got. For example, let's say Brock Bowers is going to have a 3-banger common, which is his rookie debut. Take cereals 1 through 300 and put them in a burn challenge. Choose the top 100 moments that have the biggest inventory at $1. So all like our, guys that need to be burnt up. I can't think of anybody off the top of my head, like an Alec Pierce. He's got a flood of them at $1. Okay, take the top 100 guys of those, and what you got to do is then you got to do a burn challenge. You got to burn 25 of those high inventory guys to get in there. So then you do a burn challenge, 25 for 1. And then you get into a lottery and you're going to get serial number between 1 and 300. And all you got to do is burn 25 $1 moments. So essentially you're paying $25 to get a chance at getting a really high serial number of a new rookie who's just coming out. Okay.
Now, are you guaranteed, or you're saying so just so I understand, if I do that, you're saying it would cap at 300 people?
It would cap at 300 people.
So it would only cost $25 for a Brock Bowers rookie?
Yep. It would be I'm talking guys that are common moments.
Well, common. It would be
like a common. It would be a common or an uncommon moment.
Okay. Sorry, I thought you meant a rare.
But again, what you're doing is you're doing burns for high cereals.
Yep.
Okay. And so let's say you do 25. Okay.
Yep.
So in doing those 25 for 300 cereals, you'd get a 7,500 burn. So if my math is correct, 7,500.
Sorry, balloons just went by your face.
I saw that. I wonder why. Okay. But say now, like you do that for 20 players, that's 150,000 burns that you would get. So again, take these rookies that are coming out and put a lot of them in the packs. But then you can take maybe Brock Bowers is a good example because he's not a Caleb Williams. I'm saying go down the line a little bit and then try to distribute these serial numbers for 25 burns and just start. Like you could get like 150,000 burns for 20 players if you did that.
Yeah.
Now I think 150,000 burns would be a legendary moment right there. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'm thinking it through. So again, you'd have to like calculate the numbers and figure it all out. But I think,
Absolutely.
I like the idea. I like the idea of I would go further and say, don't cap it at 300. Every 25 moments you burn of those 100 players gives you 1 entry into a chance at the top 300. And you want to burn 10,000 moments? Great. You get however many entries that is. And so it's because here's the thing, like that would play to the degenerate gambling nature of the of the audience.
Yes.
And so I would say don't even cap it at 300. Just like make it a free for all. And if you win multiple Brock Bowers, great. Like every 25 you burn,
right,
you get an entry. It doesn't mean you're guaranteed one. You just get a shot at one.
Sure.
That would burn the supply.
I mean, that would, but I guess I don't know if that would get enough. That would be enough to drag the people in, because what I worry about is like, if I got like, if I paid $25 and I got serial number 250, like I'd be like, okay. That's like, it was kind of a gamble. I kind of lost out, but it's like, if you do like, let's say you do 10 entries and then you end up with like two serials, you get 250 and like 175. It's like, kind of like, was it worth it?
Yeah. But if you get number 7 and number, 42.
Right. So I think that there's some happy medium in there.
I hear you, but I think like if you think about like, especially let's say it's an uncommon. Let's say Brock Bowers is an uncommon. What's his floor price going to be anyway? He's probably going to start somewhere in the $12 to $15 range. So possibly. maybe drop it down to like, maybe uncap it, and instead of making it 25 burns, make it 15 burns or 20. Sure. Bring that number down a little bit, but just make it unlimited, and I think you would get way more overall burns.
Sure, I'm sure somebody could do the math on it and figure out the best way. But the bottom line is, whether you choose A or B, start using serial numbers as a way to burn.
Well,
moments.
Okay, so then I will unstack on top of that.
Okay.
Right now, having a serial number doesn't do shit for you. Like, so they need to also so do that, but also make it so that if you have a serial number under 100 of player X, you're going to get this benefit next time. Like,
sure.
Like start giving benefit. Like, so it's like, if you want to like get people to do that and make serial numbers a thing, give people a benefit. Like, be like, like if you want to, like we're going to do a Bears team pack or whatever. Right. And if you want, first shot at the Bears team pack, if you have a Bears player with a serial number under 100, you get first shot or something. I don't know.
Okay.
So
I like it. I like it. I mean, again, give these like little incentives for these serial numbers. And like, again, they don't have to be huge. It's just like team moments. Throw us a bone, throw us something like every once in a while. Okay. So here's my next one. Okay. You ready for this one?
All right. I'm ready.
A NFL bracket, predict the season at the beginning of the season. And this is how you would do it. They'd have a burn challenge, and you have to take a moment from every single team, and you can do as many entries as you want. What you have to do is you have to predict the NFL season. So let's say I've got a $1 Lions moment. I put the Lions in first place, and I take all my moments and I place them one by one by one, and I place all the division winners, and then I predict out the Super Bowl. So in a sense, you're doing like a bracket. Okay. So everybody's creating all these brackets. You can do as many entries as you want, but every time you do it, you're doing 32 moments as a burn. So you have to burn
more
those
32 if you have to do the playoffs.
Well, I was kind of deciding, like, do you just do the 32 moments and then do the playoff, or do you have to add the playoff guys too? I don't know, but let's just say at a minimum, it's 32.
32. Got it. One from each team. Yep.
Right. So you do that. You could have the burns could be endless. I did like a little bit of a number calculation. Cue the balloons here for me.
I don't know what's firing the balloons off, but I love it. I think I saw bubbles come out of you earlier or something. I hope you turned into a cat at some point. But sorry, go ahead.
So if it's 32 moments per entry, okay, and you're doing, let's say you get 15,000 entries because people kind of get nuts with it, okay? That could be 480,000 moments you could burn, plus then what you're doing with Brock Bowers. I mean, you could reduce the supply. And like, not only that, NFL All Day, it's all these people would go out and buy these moments. Okay. Right. Not only that, Flowty would get cleared off. Flowty
all would those 30-cent moments would go away quick.
Yeah, they would all go away. So then now all the sales are going to go back to you, because you're not making the money on those sales that are happening on Flowty. So think about it. You're losing out because of Flowty. So you want to take the business away from Flowty. Fine. Go over there and erase all those moments. Bring them over to you now. So now you're getting the sales. So you're getting the commission. Okay. So that's another way of doing it. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think so I like what you're saying. What's the prize though? Like, what do I win if I
got it? I forgot to say it. So you take like the top 20 winners. Okay. Actually, I think I have this. No, blah, 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 blah. I think I was saying you would take the top 100 winners
Okay.
of that contest and you would create a special moment. Okay.
Yep.
And as the Super Bowl concluded and the winner was chosen, like maybe an hour after the Super Bowl, they would calculate it, they'd figure it out, and they would mint like the Super Bowl MVP. They would make 100 of it, and you would get that legendary moment on the spot after the
Rare.
Super Bowl. 99 legendary.
Okay.
Something like that. Like you would get like that Super Bowl MVP and it would be like a special moment. Maybe it'd be like something that happened. Maybe they'd capture like a live something, or, there'd be something about it that would make it very special, different than all other moments. And you would get it like on the night of the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Gotcha. All right.
Now, maybe like, I don't know, like as far as like the video would go, if it would be like, because again, the game is happening in real time. I don't know what they can do. Like, if they have to wait for the video.
You'd probably get like a holder moment and then have to populate it like a banner moment kind of thing.
But it's something that they would like, you would know you got it that night, and like they would jump on and put it out.
I like the idea of getting it that night, because then people will get super excited and want to buy them in the secondary market and all that kind of stuff. You'd see them flying around and such.
Yeah.
So.
And like people would be following the contest like as they're watching the Super Bowl, because when you're watching the Super Bowl, you like to like be doing multiple things. So it's kind of like, oh, where am I ranking at if so and so wins? Like this and that. Not only that, but you could do burn contests for like more like fantasy stuff, and like you got to burn to predict like who's going to like have more yards. You could make it more interactive during the Super Bowl. That's a whole nother thing. But again, so there's that, and I've got one last one. So let me know your thoughts on that, why I kind of drum this up.
So, I mean, I like it. I like the idea. I like the idea of doing like kind of prediction challenges and such, which they've done. I mean, they've done them more on a weekly basis. I think it's an interesting idea to do it in like a full season. So, I mean, I'm all for it. Like, I think anybody who's a football fan's a gambler and like, wants to like show that they know more than this other person. So, I mean, again, I think there's some good ideas here. I think that, a little bit of refining and some math would have to happen, but I like what I'm hearing. So, yeah.
Okay. So, and again, this is all like a lot of what I'm talking about is leading into the season, when people are most excited about the season, and
everybody's got a chance, and everybody's
got a chance. Everybody's willing to burn a bunch of moments from last season because they don't give a shit. Cue in on that beginning of the season. Here's my last one. Okay. Do a burn challenge to win 2 tickets to the Chiefs and the Ravens opening night for the NFL season. Create a burn challenge where you got to burn a gang of stuff to get 2 tickets. You get flowing out there, shell out a little bit of money, get everything, get some good seats, and see how many people would burn to get those seats for that opening night game.
So you're burning to get like an entry in a drawing for the tickets.
That's right. And you're burning up, like basically like that's where you kind of say, hey, you got to burn a couple legendaries. You got like, again, that's where your big bangers kind of come in. And it's like, you got to get rid of Ed Too Tall Jones. Like, like.
Or what you do is you make it so that like if you burn a common, you get 1 entry. You burn an uncommon, you get 2 entries. Burn a rare, you get 5 entries. Burn a legendary, you get 10, come up with some formula. You burn an ultimate, you get 100, like whatever. So.
And then have like a live Q&A where you do the drawing, and pick your winner, and they get 2 tickets, and that's just kind of that. I mean, again, something to that effect where it's like there's a build up and everybody's kind of like, oh, who's going to win this, like something like that. And again, you've got to burn to do it. It's not like I have this moment, put it in, and the purpose of this is to get the dollar moments teetering on $1 to $2. And to get those uncommons maybe between $3 and $5, and maybe get the rares back up to $12. Let's just see if we can get that kind of like place back.
Yeah, I mean, I like all these ideas, but it's like my biggest fear is that they're actually going to go the opposite direction this season and do bullshit. Like they're going to do like, hey, it's the Marvin Harrison Jr. drop where we're going to throw in a bunch of scrubs moments and a bunch of common moments, but this is the pack where you can have a chance of getting Marvin Harrison's debut moment. Or whatever and stuff. So I like where you're going better. And I like the idea of just having like, again, like when you were a kid, it was like there was like a football card set 1 through 528 or whatever it was. I don't remember. But and it was like that was it. That was the run. And you would buy packs and you would get those moments. I mean, I like the idea of adding moments throughout the season, and I think they should still do that.
Yeah.
But like come up with a base set for the players decide who your rares are, decide who your legendaries are, and like just like make it like a make it like a collecting cards again. Like make it where you open packs and you're gonna get you know what you're gonna get. You're gonna get some commons and uncommons, and then you're gonna maybe get a rare, and then if you're really lucky, you get a legendary.
Sure.
Like just make it fun again.
Right. And they could create a set and leave some blank spaces for the pukas that come, like there's always going to be some surprise moments that are like,
well, no, and that's what I'm saying. And I think, they did that last year with like dynamic moments, but I'm saying like, yeah, have like I actually liked the Road to 100 set that they ran throughout the season, where it had some very mixed, like some weeks it would have 1,500, some weeks it would have, 70. Like, do a series like that. Make a make a new series and call it like like Emerging Stars or Rising Stars or something where
sure.
Like you said, it's like you already know that like the number Caleb Williams is gonna have a moment. Marvin Harrison Jr. is gonna have a Christian McCaffrey is gonna have a moment. So do that. But then when, it's like last year, Deron Bland, all of a sudden, like, Deron Bland wasn't going to have a moment last year until all of a sudden he had 4 pick sixes, and then he's got 5. And then he's got 6, and it's like, oh shit, we need to get Deron Bland a moment. So it's same principle. Like, just, like do those moments. And for the love of God, don't like you pick these defensive players and then you made it impossible for them to get any type of moments attached to them when they have these legendaries. It's like they had to either get 2 sacks in a game or an interception or and it was like all those defensive players, none of them have more than a couple of, highlights on their moment because they made it so difficult. Like, make them if you're gonna make a legendary moment, make it fucking legendary. Don't make it like, think about if it was week 1 and you bought that Aaron Rodgers legendary in the secondary market because you were so excited and you were a Jets fan, and then he pops an ACL or pops his Achilles or whatever. It's like, what a waste. So yeah.
And that kind of takes me to my last thing that I wanted to discuss, and that is ultimate moments. There was only one 2023 ultimate. That was the Patrick Mahomes Super Bowl one. And then there was the James Harrison, John Elway, and Joe Montana.
Right. Again, the historicals.
I feel like, historicals. I feel like, weren't there some like pretty ultimate plays throughout last season? I mean, there had to be like, go through the NFL top 100 plays and pick number 1 and 2 or, there had to be a couple that were worthwhile. Like, again, the ultimate to me is the one thing they have not killed yet. Just do a couple.
Give them time.
Yes. Just do 2 and like 2 and like just make people burn like crazy to get those or, or do
get
something.
A shot at them. We've talked about that before.
Yeah.
We've definitely.
I understand that they got to make money on like these pack drops too. Like, I mean, they've got to like, I understand that they've got to meet their royalty, whatever. But again, like people trading in the secondary market with all these burn contests, like, again, that will generate revenue. It'll get people buying and selling and flipping and doing all that kind of shit.
It makes the secondary market makes them way less money than the pack market does. So
but the pack market is, I know that they know it's dying. Like, you can tell by the pricing of the packs that are coming out that like they know it's in trouble.
I hear you, but I'm telling you right now, the minute a pack includes Caleb Williams, Marvin Harrison Jr.,
sure,
Drake May, all these new quarterbacks, all these, like people are going to show up. Those packs, people are going to pay for them, and they're going to pay a premium for them because to your point, when it's preseason, everybody's undefeated. So they are going to do that and capture that money up front. And I don't blame them. I mean, I get it. If I am all day, I am going to I'm going to create, they're going to do the same thing with those dynamic moments and they're going to just put them out there because the thing is like, there will not be more demand. Like if you look at last year, every player's peak demand happened before week 1 started, minus 3 players. CJ Stroud, I don't know who the other 2 are, but I mean, do you get what I'm saying? Like, it's like there's way more players that are going to like bust or not meet expectations than there are players that are going to like do what CJ Stroud did last year.
Got it. Yeah. I completely agree.
you got to get your money up front. Like it's just
But
business wise, they got to be thinking like we're going to get as much money up front as we can as possible.
right, but if they're going to continue to make commons and uncommons, if they're going to do that, then they should just do like what we're talking about with the packs. They should just spread everything out and just ditch the premium pack. And instead of selling like a bunch of packs for an expensive amount, and like they sell those out, but then they're left with all these common packs that are worthless.
Yeah.
Like the Hot Rod pack is a pile of shit.
Yeah. I mean, I like the idea again of great. Know who your expensive players are. Take whatever you were going to price the premium packs at, figure out that dollar amount, and just add it all together. And then instead of doing all the different packs, just distribute them evenly across all the number of packs and divide it by the number of whatever, and then just price them accordingly. So if it's $10 for a 3-moment pack, then it's $10, whatever it is.
Right.
But you get the same. But it distributes. You get like Dapper would take in the same amount of money, but it would just be but everybody would get randomized shots at all the rares and all the legendaries.
Right. You would see more people like, again, when these guys
totally
get their first legendary, like I see it on Twitter, like they're like, I got my first, like legendary. Holy shit. The people like that get their first are so excited, but the people who get this, keep
like, here's the thing. The big fish or the whales or whatever, they're still going to buy 1,000 packs or whatever. Right.
Yeah.
They're like, if you can either let them buy like 5 legendary packs, or they're going to buy 1,000 regular packs to get to their 5 legendaries.
Sure.
They're going to buy either way. But where it's going to help, in my opinion, is that you're going to get the guy who normally only buys 2 or 3 packs, hot route packs, and maybe a premium pack. He's going to be like, fuck it. I'm going to go big. I'm going to buy a few extra packs. And like, they'll wind up selling more that way, I think, than any other way. I'm inspired by your idea. I'm going to do the math on the pack prices. I'm going to figure out how they could do this. So.
Sure. I think that, again, and the chance of getting somebody new into the fold is much higher than the way that they're doing it right now. Because right now there's no incentive for a new person to come in unless they're going to spend like $800, $700. And then the idea that they're going to spend all that money and then these moments are going to go down in price. But if you spend $5 and you get a pack and you pop a legendary, well, then it was worth it.
It is. You make it like it used to be when you would go to a local grocery store, gas station, convenient, wherever you bought your cards, Target.
Right.
You would walk in, you would see packs on the shelf. And like, that's the other thing too, is it's like, it would be so nice if they could have enough packs where there's still like week 2, there's still packs on the shelf. And there's still like legendary and really awesome rare moments out there where they haven't all been bought up. Like that would be really cool, because then, someone who's like could just join up and be like, what is this? And then they come in and then it's like, oh, there's packs on the table. I'm going to buy a few packs. What the fuck? Why not? Like, let me try it out. Holy shit. Here's a rare Caleb Williams. Here's a legendary Trevor Lawrence. Like, whatever. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm all about it.
I like it. I want to see the numbers person in me wants to see the math of it, to see what it would cost to make those packs. Like,
I think it's going to be a little bit more than $5, but
it is. It's probably going to be closer to 10.
But again, the thing that I think that they should do is not put a legendary and a rare in the same pack.
No, right. I think it would be like you would get it. Let's say it's a 4-card pack. 1, 2, and 3 are always uncommon and common, and then 4 is either common, uncommon, rare, or legendary. That's like your a lot of like card game, like Pokemon does that, right? Where it's like you always know. I think it's like the 7th or 8th card of the pack is going to be like the one. If you get the special card, that's where it's at in the pack. Same idea.
Correct.
It's like
correct.
You would, and it's always sequentially done like that or whatever. Mm-hmm. So the other thing I would say too is to make the math work is here's what I'll say: just do more like, or here I'll take your idea. I'll go one further.
All right.
Fuck commons, like kill commons and just make it uncommons, or make it commons and reduce the mint or whatever. But just do more players. Like if you're if you're a fan of a team or whatever, there's like guys that are never seeing a moment that it's like, I'd love to see, like let's say I'm a Bears fan, right? Like, I mean, there's guys that don't have moments that I would love to see a moment for. And It's like, do uncommon moments of like the lower tier players. And to see how, like, again, just like football cards used to be when you were a kid. You would get, like, let's say I'm a Bears fan and I pull a common Vikings player and I'm just like, bullshit, whatever, right? Like, I don't care, but it was okay because I was still trying to get the other guys that I needed and complete my set. So
sure,
I think that there's something there. But yeah, well, it's something we can definitely explore, I think, in future episodes, and really, like, maybe come up with what we think would be a really good method for the distribution.
Right. And the morale is low on this product right now. Like, they've got to do something to jam
they got to
this
fucking
up.
hire us.
I would. I mean, Jesus Christ, they need. I wonder if these people have ever seen a fucking football in their life.
I mean, they have. They're football fans. I know that they are.
I mean, I'm just saying. It's just like sometimes it's easier from the outside, but again,
it is totally
use the
easier
people
from
standing on the outside. Take our ideas and fucking apply.
Giving them up for free.
Yes. So again, we're the only people making videos about this product. Shit, I think so.
I thought there was maybe a few others.
Well, if there are, there's not many left.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So
we're still fucking here.
Yeah. Treat us like it.
All right, man. I will catch you on the next one, and we'll start picking back up here as summer camps pick up and training camps pick up and all that buzz and excitement and everything we've all been waiting for starts going forward.
Yeah, and if anybody has any special ideas about what they should do moving forward on the 2024 season, I'd like to hear your ideas. How absolutely. Can we take the product as a community and kind of move it forward? So I'm curious too.
I think the other thing too would be, how do we get more people to, like, how do you get more people into this? And, we'll say that for another episode, but how do we get more, how do we get more people on board? I got ideas. I got some hot takes on that one. All right. Thanks for listening. If you did to the end, peace.